Now, being crowned Miss England one day and then starting your new role as a junior doctor in the NHS the next. It's bound to be a bit of a shock to the system, but that's exactly what our next guest managed this month. Let's talk to her now, live from Lincolnshire, is NHS junior doctor and this year's Miss England winner, Pasha Mukherjee. Good morning to you, Pasha.
Good morning.
Congratulations, first of all, for both, actually, being crowned Miss England and for becoming a junior doctor within 48 hours. Talk to me about how you made the transition, because you literally wore the crown one day, had to take it on and put on a stethoscope the next.
It was a surreal 24 hours for me, because I literally finished the crowning moment, which happened after midnight on Thursday, the 1st of August. Obviously, a couple of hours into the night, we were partying. I only got to party for about 10 minutes because we had to head off straight away to the hotel, and I had to catch a train from Newcastle at 4 o'clock in the morning so I could make it in time for my induction at the hospital at Boston, Lincolnshire at 9 o'clock, and I made it. So it was crazy.
Yeah, what an incredible 48 hours. I'm just looking through your CV. I mean, we're talking about GCSE results this morning, and this is something for young girls and boys to aspire to. You've got 2 degrees. Just looking at your IQ score, 146, which is genius standard, and you speak 5 languages. It's going to beg the question this morning, why did you want to add Miss England to your CV?
Why not? I always like taking new risks and throwing myself into new challenges. I just don't like getting comfortable, and I never wanted to be one of those people that just grumbled about a 9-to-5 job being too boring. I always like to have something that excites me and keeps me going. And right now, funnily, my job gives me that grounding, that the regularity. And of course, Miss England gives me that excitement on the weekends and my days off when I get to become someone totally different. And I think balance is the essence of life. So I would recommend for everyone to do something really crazy, just to keep themselves, stimulated.
Do you think you've changed the perception of beauty pageants? Because you're proving here you can have beauty and brains and, have both of them to the highest degree. I mean, is there a misconception about beauty pageants? Because they come in for a lot of criticism, say it focuses too much on how women look and not really on what's contained up here.
I think that perception comes from ignorance, because beauty pageants have changed a lot in the last decade. Obviously, beauty is an aspect of it, but it's very subjective. Beauty is very subjective, and there are some stunning girls out there, but beauty pageants give women that opportunity to display a bit of both, the grooming side of things, which everyone can do, staying in shape, putting on makeup, that's something very easily achievable. But what else do you bring to it? And how do you utilize your beauty for a better purpose? And that's why, the ethos behind Miss World and Miss England is beauty with a purpose. Because we're essentially marketing this tool that we have, this grooming that we have, this ability to speak, to voice a good cause, and also be a role model for girls out there, to be something other than just an Instagram model or someone that just, gets lip fillers or wears these fancy clothes. It's about showing women out there that actually we can be both, and it's not boring to be an academic, or it's not boring to be backing a charity. And that's what the beauty is for. It's glamorizing these things that often get shoved in the corner. And young women these days don't really aspire to be a doctor or a scientist. They want to be an influencer on Instagram or YouTube. And it's just trying to glamorize these other really good causes, essentially. And I think beauty pageants are a great way to do that. At least Miss World is.
Just quickly, obviously, you're talking about going on to Miss World as well, but what's life like in the NHS? We talk about it a lot here on Sky News Sunrise and how stretched it is. How's your first couple of weeks been on the front line?
Stretched, most definitely stretched. But it's really made me understand how the human body and mind is so adaptable to new stresses. My first week was absolutely crazy. It's changeover week in August, and I had all of the aftermath of Miss England happening at the same time. So it was definitely a very stressful environment, stressful time for me. And what it's now turned out is actually work is therapeutic. I like the busyness at work because it just makes me forget about social media. It makes me forget to go on my phone. And it's a great way to just become task focused and actually really get a reality check of what life really is about. And when I get that thank you, the one bit of attention from a patient in the form of a thank you, it makes me incredibly grateful and forget that actually on the days when I get glamorized and get makeup on and I'm posing with other people and they're so enthusiastic to meet me, it grounds me. That contrast it's really made me appreciate the contrast that I lead as a
it's great stories to tell your patients to put them at ease as well, that they're being treated by Miss England. Saving lives, definitely preferable over social media. Thank you so much for telling us your story. Get in touch this morning at Sky News #Sunrise after hearing that. Has it changed your perception of beauty pageants? Right, we're going to take a look at